Skeggs. Oh, Forlan's in again here. Diego Forlan! 2-0 Manchester United! Oh my goodness me!
Welcome back to the Worldwide Reds. Today we're diving into something every fan loves, the football shirt. Not just the look, but the feel, the fabric, and how it evolved from those heavy cotton days to the slick performance tech we see now. We're talking decades of change, from muddy wool to recycled ocean plastic. Very special guest, Paul from PFC Vintage. If you love football shirts, kits, and history behind them, Paul is the go-to expert. He spent years selling, collecting, and sharing some of the rarest and most iconic football jerseys out there. Paul, welcome to the show. How are you, buddy? How's things?
Adam, boys, g'day. Thanks for having me. Yeah, good. It's really nice to join you. I've kept tabs on your show for a little bit, and obviously, like looking at your man cave personally, Adam. So I must admit, you've done a very good job there too. Jordan, it's nice to meet you as well for the first time. So I can't remember you met in person before, but it's awesome to be involved.
Awesome. Yeah. So welcome, Jordan, the regular, the man with what you got close to 400 jerseys, Jordan, in your collection. So he loves every little bit of jerseys, mate. Just before we came on, Paul, he was showing me some iconic jerseys that he's got from the 90s. And, mate, and Jordan's got jerseys. Even though he's a Manchester United supporter, he's got jerseys like he had Di Canio. He had players like that in his collection. I'll let you run through it, Jordan, before we get into it.
What players that I've got?
It's scary.
So I love iconic players or moments in seasons, and that's what kind of makes me collect a jersey. So I've got like Di Canio. Another one looking at me right now is 2006 Messi World Cup. It's his first World Cup. Also got like Yamal's Euros when he got Player of the Year. Mate, there's everywhere. I've got Thierry Henry when in the Invincibles, Patrick Vieira from the Invincibles. Even though I'm a Man United fan, I still like to collect different things. And Mbappe's rookie season at PSG, Mbappe's first season at Monaco.
Nice.
I've got a bunch here on the floor we'll go through, which are quite iconic ones. Just the ones that are just looking at me now that I can kind of see in the cupboard.
I know I'm the guest here, and I'm probably not meant to be the one asking questions, but for you guys, for me, I think it's probably a little bit different. But for you, how do you feel about wearing shirts that aren't Man United shirts?
I don't wear football shirts, period. So I will wear ones that I go to games, I should say, and support the Man United when they come here. Or I'm a Sydney FC fan, so I've got a Sydney FC jersey I'll wear and things like that. But in terms of like my Di Canio West Hams, my like England vintage, my Argentina vintage, all that stuff, I don't wear them. I just collect. That's just my.
It's almost like an appreciation for the player.
It is
at the time, right?
Like, especially some of the ones I'm going to show a bit later. Like some of the jerseys are worth quite a bit, and I know what I'm like. I will spill something on them and stain it and ruin it, and I would hate myself for it. Like I don't even wear a shirt on the pod, which I probably should start considering how many I've got. But
depends what you're drinking during the pod, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. I'll end up spilling on myself, and that'll be the end of it. I'll be gutted.
I'm the same. Like
they're a bit irreplaceable. Like,
yeah.
Sorry to cut you off, Adam, but like,
no, you're right. Go for
stuff. Like I haven't got it in front of me, but like I've got like Ronaldo's Sporting Libson jersey when he wore number 28. I've got stuff like that I'm like, man, it'd be cool to show it off, but at the same time, I'm like, fuck, how would I find another one again that's authentic?
To be honest, like that was probably going to be my next comment, was like the fact that you've got it is cool, right? But to find them legitimate is like hen's teeth, and they've been mass produced, illegally, I guess you could say. So the fact that you found one's very impressive.
Yeah, I got pretty lucky though, because I started collecting before it became like a dress style. Would you call it dress? Like people wear it as like a
like fashion movements and things
fashion,
like that. Yeah.
Dress code, fashion.
No, that's fine. It's all the same thing. Right?
Literally, I've been collecting since I was born. Like my mum always bought them for me, put them aside, and she like had appreciation for the jersey. So when I was younger, she used to buy me a fake version to run around and play soccer in as a kid, but then buy me the authentic one in like a large or a medium or something, and put it away as like a thing of this is your collection as you grow. So some of the stuff I have got, she's very much hit the ball out of the park there.
That
Some
is
of the stuff
awesome.
we've got still like brand new with tags. It's never been worn, but it's like another one I'm looking at now is a Cannavaro Juventus 2005 one, which is brand new with tags.
Sick. That's the
Can't
that's
win that.
relegation for properly right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's the same for me. Like, I mean, I've had jerseys a long time. Like this one I wore, this was probably one of my first jerseys I ever bought from 1990. And I used to wear it religiously to training all the time, everything like that. Now, occasionally, I'll wear them like fashionable, like if I go into the city or something like that, I'll wear one and stuff like that. So I don't mind wearing mine. But I tend to stick to the 90s jerseys that I got.
Yeah.
It's funny. I never like the last 10 years. They've still got tags and everything. The ones that probably over the last 10 years because I like buying the player version and stuff like that. So
yeah,
I tend to try and wear those. And like we're going to probably start from the 70s, and you boys never had the pleasure of wearing a full cotton jersey from the 70s that was that heavy, and I was just showing you
Rugby jersey.
mate, they were heavy, I tell you. Like, so we'll probably start there. We'll probably start in the 70s, which I think a lot of people that are watching this pod. Paul Bloxham's on here, so he's as old as me. So he probably had the pleasure of wearing one of those. And they were like what Dad said, they were like wearing like something you go and throw over a fish and then you could re-net it. They were that thick. And I could imagine players like when they had the full cotton jerseys back in probably the 50s, 60s, in those days. So they were even thicker than the ones that were in the probably 70s, early 80s. So, mate, they're crazy. Feel like when I look back now, like the one I got here, I'll bring up one here from mine from what's probably 1982, the one on the left-hand side. So that was my original jersey. Probably I was under nines. And then if you remember the Australian brand Patrick, so that was probably about 5-6 years later, that was probably under 15s in that one. So they're my first couple of jerseys that I've kept. But I was saying to you before, I wish I had it. I've got my 1980s one when I used to play for Gourley Bay Soccer Club. Like that's them there. Like you can
they're
still
they're really clean looking jerseys though, aren't they? I love just the plain white and black. I reckon it looks really nice.
The stripes.
It's actually very nice. It's a bit Santos. It's giving me Santos vibes. Like it's
it is, isn't it?
A bit of Pele in there, right? You can imagine Pele wearing the smaller one.
You can.
Too, so,
yeah.
You could honestly probably put number 10 on the back and try and resell it, and someone buy it.
Just take the badge off, you reckon?
Well, so it's Adam. It's Adam. What was the name of the club?
Miranda Magpies. So it's a local Sutherland Shire.
So Adam's now known as the Miranda Pele, right? Is that the
the other one I had from the 80s is like my Gourley Bay Soccer Club. So they were the bunnies and they were purple. So I wish I had that.
That's
my mum
awesome.
actually got it out the other week and she said it's a bit tattered. I might try and fix it, but I have to go and get it back off her. But I have got a Manchester United one from 1978. So that's that one there, 1978 original. So that
man,
that's a cool jersey.
crazy.
That's that one there, yeah. So they wore that one in the 77 Cup final. So and then that's the year after. Admiral was the sponsor. And these are this is probably a little thinner than the one that I was wearing in 1980. So, and this is like that there. I think that was like a medium back in the day, so I was lucky to get that.
I was just about to ask, how's the sizing? Because like from the stuff that I've come across in the past, the obviously generationally it kind of goes through different ways, different styles, right? But I found the stuff from I haven't seen a great deal from the 70s, but I know definitely the 80s is like super tight. It's almost like there's like an elastic in the material, and it looks like they're similar. Very small. They run very short.
Back in the 80s and 90s, they were mainly kids were wearing the jerseys. And especially like in the 80s, they used to make their own types of jerseys as well. So they used to just like Dean from up in Queensland's done it. They used to be very fashionable where they used to wear, instead of wearing a jersey, the kids might wear a jersey, but then the adults might get, say, denim jacket, and they'd cut the sleeves off, and then they'd put all their patches around it. They'd wear a scarf on their wrist and scarves around their neck. So through the 70s and probably early 80s, it was so fashionable to do those types of things, and then they'll go beat the shit out of someone or an opposition. You know what I mean? Like it was, and it's good that like fashion's starting to come back for jersey. I think we really lost that. I think that period.
I was just about to say, like, I think from like 70s, like we're mentioning now, but then obviously maybe even later, almost like all the way through to the 90s, like that terrace culture almost had like a style, like its own style. And I think that obviously over the years kind of changes, and we kind of we build football shirts into our lifestyle a little bit more. I think because it's a personality thing now as well, especially in a country where a lot of us watch Premier League and have a Premier League team, for example, right, or an overseas team. So wearing it is almost like a bit of you're from here, or you might not be, but you might have origins from there, or you might just support the club for whatever reason. But it's I think it's a nice way to connect a bit about who you are into like your day-to-day life.
100%. And that's the thing with like losing the NSL and everything like that in Australia. Like, you imagine if a lot of those jerseys, I know there's a lot of A-League collectors now and like NSL collectors. Mate, I think Australia's lost that culture from the 70s and early 80s. Like, I used to go and watch Melita Eagles play a lot. Like, and I know Manchester United were part of Melita Eagles at one stage where United used to, I've even got a jacket with Manchester United and they're part of Melita Eagles. They used to try and run the southern branch of selectors from here. I've got a jacket from there. Sure enough, when my daughters played at Sydney Uni, John Curran, he was the Oceania scout for Manchester United, and he gave me two jackets. And they're all from the 80s. I've still got one. It hangs inside. It's not in the cave. But yeah, I think that NSL culture, like your old Sydney Olympic teams, your old Apia teams, like I think about some of the jerseys that we've lost in those eras. It's crazy that we've lost those jerseys. I think, especially for Australian football.
I still wonder, like, how much. I'm sure the clubs would have archives. I know. For example, South Melbourne is quite good at.
I know Apia does.
Yeah,
Apia
I see a couple of
bit
South Melbourne ones around, and they're quite nice.
Yeah, and like I know, I think Dan Preston. I've seen, like, if you go through the club rooms, they've got them on display, and I know they hold them up through the archives. The Australian Championships opener against Sydney Olympic, they actually I think there's a couple of DJs that were set up next to the stall that we had, and they put them both in like the 91, 92 or 90-91 season.
That's awesome.
Kits. So they both got like the Marathon Food sponsored kits, and we're just like, whoa, like we've got a whole shop, and that's still the coolest shirt here. Like, this is insane. So I think that like they definitely exist. I think it's just a matter of whether the clubs unearth them or not.
That's the thing,
a weird example of that is, so we've got a pretty close relationship with Jackson Irvine and have done some really cool stuff with him in the past. And like, very random coincidence, one of Jackson's junior clubs I used to play for, and one of the boys that works at the shop is their current team manager. So I sort of I think that thing came about of Jackson getting the shirt from Ringwood City. I think it was Ringwood City.
Yeah.
And I was spewing because around the same time that came out, I was hunting for his first shirt from Endeavour United, which was one of the other boyhood clubs. And I thought, I've got a contact there. I should be able to like facilitate it. And we found a couple. One was actually one of the it was current player at the time, and a good mate of mine. He's like, I'm going to hold it. I want to give it to my son. He's now a life member at age like 33. So it was kind of like good thing that he hung on to it. But it's like, these things still exist, even though they're 30 odd years old. It's like, okay, I'm sure if we pushed it a little bit more, went to a club with like a massive history, especially to like an NSL tier, there's got to be stuff. Maybe there might not be NSL now, but I'm sure, like, I don't know, maybe I'm thinking like Bulleen was the first club that came to mind, but I think there's a bit of an identity crisis in there with them. But yeah, there would be other clubs that that maybe once were big that now aren't so big, that have this archive in their locker room somewhere, that it would be amazing to see.
I know Apia. Look, I think Melbourne hold a greater culture towards football than probably Sydney. Even like Melbourne, they really embrace that. Like, what do they call it down there? Is it an NPL down there, like with South Melbourne and all that?
Yeah. I think it's the title's same. Yeah, from what I understand, is like the pyramid system's a little bit different and the tiering and stuff.
Yeah.
But, it's still called NPL here. So yeah, it's
like what do you call it? Apia's just made a museum and a shop. I know that, and they've got some stuff in there, pretty iconic stuff in there. I remember once, a bit of a change of subject. I was working at the New South Wales Rugby League Club, and I got up into their attic, and I was doing work down there, and I got up into their attic, and they had all these chests there. And, mate, so I opened the chests. I was the only one up in there. No one knew I was in there. And, mate, they had all these old rugby league jerseys, like from the 50s, the 60s. Mate, I swear to God, man, I just felt like going whack, 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 and I just all stuck in the attic up there. It's just mental. So probably some of these clubs, I'm sure there's someone around with a lot of these NSL jerseys and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But
maybe there's a content series for PFC we've just come up with, so I might have to credit you to some degree, Adam.
yeah, it's, things like that, mate. Look, I know from when I was a kid, like in the early 80s, and like wearing those jerseys, and it's pissing down rain. Mate, they were that heavy on you. It was nuts.
Imagine.
And like you used to like, because they never rarely called off a game in those days as well. So you'd be running around in these fishnet friggin' jerseys, and mate, the mud would not remove from you. It was unreal. Like
I know Jordan mentioned earlier about like his mum buying him the bootleg version, and then he had the authentic one to keep and for a keepsake, right? But the bootleg one you'd play it and trash effectively. I don't know about you guys, but I remember as a kid, like they were always like an XL, and it was like a one size fits all.
Yeah.
So you'd get this thing, you'd wear it to training, you'd tuck it in, it'd still be addressed somehow. You'd come home waterlogged, covered in mud. This thing was heavy, especially as a sub 12-year-old. You're just like, I don't know. This is ridiculous. Like,
there's a photo of me. I think I'm like under 9s or something, and I'm wearing a Manchester United top, and I've got it tucked in, but over the tuck, you still can't see my pants because the shirt's that baggy that when I've tucked it in, like the overlap of the shirt still covers the pants. So it looks like I'm running around in a dress, even though it's tucked in still.
But
hey, man, you never know. They say fashion goes around, right? It might be a thing now. If the 90s and 2000s just coming back.
I was setting trends back then.
Yeah.
Mate, when I was doing research on this pod, I was surprised to read that I got to a section where I was reading about numbers on the back of jerseys and stuff like that. And I was telling Jordan just before we came on, Australia was one of the first countries to have numbers on the back of their jerseys before World War II. It was crazy.
Yeah, was that something to do with like a Australia-New Zealand game or of some kind?
Yeah, I think so. I think it was that. Yeah, and I was just reading like numbers appeared. Well, I wrote it down. Numbers first appeared in Australia soccer before World War I, and adopted by the American Soccer League in the 1920s. England in 1928, Arsenal v Sheffield Wednesday were the first to number 1 to 11. Yeah, and FIFA introduced squad numbers 1 to 11 in the 1938 World Cup. Crazy,
wow.
eh? Like, who would have thought?
Imagine a jersey from the 1920s or something.
Mate,
it's gonna be like a cardboard box or something by that point, right? Like how much more deficient? It's probably those like the button-up kind of shirt types, right? Like you just I'm trying to think of like what they would have looked like. But yeah, it can't be much more advanced, or probably much less advanced.
You think it just fall apart in your hands? That would be that old. It just like start flaking.
Yeah. Especially when you think about like how thin those 70s ones are, right? Like you could, as much as I saw it before, like try and pull it out and it was still pretty rigid. I think if you get through the material, it doesn't look too good.
No.
Well, you guys would have seen the recent BBC series where Ronnie Cope's jersey got remade. Like, I was horrified to hear that Ronnie Cope had his 1958 FA Cup jersey sitting in the garage next to paint. Like,
it was his painting shirt. How?
It was his painting shirt. That's freaking mental. Like, I was horrified when I heard that. And then his daughters found it and wore it to bed, asked if she could wear it to bed because she was so proud of her father. And then she went and restored it. Like, unbelievable. I reckon
crazy to think that the history in that jersey, and they paint in it and they wear it to bed. Some of these are just bought from Ultra Football, and I won't even wear them.
Yeah, like it's nuts. And then when they removed the badge, when they're cutting the badge out, and I'm like, what are you doing to this jersey? Like, it's just like, give me a heart attack watching this show. Like,
you have to have so much faith in your craft doing that kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Far
Like,
out,
I
man.
couldn't imagine. Imagine if they had to do that with her sitting there, like do it under pressure with the person watching that actually
Oh,
owns the shirt. But you pull the scissors out, I'm like, nah, not a chance. Give it back to me now.
Yeah.
yeah. That's it. Like it's crazy. And I've like when I was in Malta, like we've got a good mate there, Joe Madani. He's got a museum like you've never seen before. He's been to Bex's wedding. He's got flowers from the wedding. He's got boots from all players. Malta was a big place for players to visit in the 90s and things like that. He actually had Sir Alex Ferguson open his museum. It was crazy. And some of the stuff that he has, he's got like George Best worn jerseys. He's got Bobby Charlton worn jerseys that he's been given and stuff like that.
Like, how did he get that?
Just like it's crazy the stuff that he's got, and you sit there in awe of it. You're like, fuck. You look at every detail. I know when you go to like the museum in Manchester as well, the football museum. You look at these jerseys and they're so frail and like it's just like if you're like into the jersey collecting, like we've got a lot of people on Instagram at the moment who love jerseys and things like that. And mate, that's why I had to get Paul on today, man. I've known Paul for a long time. We catch up whenever he's in Sydney. I missed him this week, but we always have a good chat about jerseys. And even when you first started up, Paul, we were connecting and you're asking me a few questions about jerseys and stuff like that. And mate, and I always connect with Paul to ask him about things. Yeah, you can just go on and on.
I remember one of the times I bumped into you in Sydney, and then we were talking about this guy that you mentioned in Malta, and one of the questions that we always get is like, how did you get this to Australia? And like, there's a few reasons how, but it's not the point, right? But like, for that guy in Malta to have the collection that he does, it seems so random. Like it's okay, he might have some affiliation, right? If you're getting invited to Bex's wedding, you're obviously in the know to some degree, right? But how, like, just to hold on to, like, and there's generations, right? It's not like he's just got.
No,
whenever Beckham, it's not 1992 onward. Like he's got, you said he's got George Best, and like there's players that are 20, 30 years apart there. Like,
but we're talking like with Malta, the affiliation with Malta came from 1959. So when they had the accident in Munich, so 1959, the president of the Malta support, well, he wasn't the president at the time. He wanted to start up a supporters club. Joe, he wanted to start up a supporters club, so he went to Sir Matt Busby, ended up getting connected with Sir Matt Busby, and he asked him if he could start a supporters club in Malta outside of England. And Sir Matt Busby was very happy about that. And then, so they'd be the oldest supporters club, if not in the world, outside of England. It's unbelievable. The story, it's actually on YouTube, the story. It's unbelievable. The supporters club in Malta is phenomenal. It's like they've even had Gary Neville help them out and stuff like that. Gary Neville's been part of it, and it's such an unbelievable story. It's crazy, yeah. And there's so much.
To give that a bit of a spotlight. Maybe that's part 2 of our content series that we steal from this.
Yeah.
Oh,
crazy.
Unearthing this Maltese gem.
Yeah. Like you can get, mate. It's a supporters club like no other. It's crazy. They got their full hall that they have match games in. They even have players come in all the time. It's crazy. It's like somewhere that the players enjoy going because of the summer, the weather, and everything like that. And they just get all the time. They got a wall as you walk upstairs. All the players have signed them. So that club goes back to 1959. So that's
crazy.
Impressive.
Yeah, that's very impressive.
That's why. Like when it comes to jerseys and things like that, when you get involved with supporter clubs and stuff like that, like I've taken a little bit of a step back from our New South Wales one because I want to connect with a lot of other supporters clubs. And you get to see some of the stuff their members have got, like especially overseas. It's incredible. And you know what? It's nice to see Australia getting involved in all this kind of stuff now, whether it's the Liverpool Supporters Club, Chelsea or whatever. You've got to connect with supporter clubs to learn about jerseys or learn about other cultures and things like that, how they connect with, our team or whatever team you support. So
yeah, I think one of the things we established pretty early, pretty early on with PFC was that the football jersey space, right? And maybe this is a little bit more specific than what you're sort of getting at, but it's almost like a bit of a Comic Con for football fans, right? Like you can kind of geek out
100%,
on the
man.
thing that you love with other people that also love the same thing, right? So we found from the pop-ups, we'd have, especially during like 2022, 23, we had that many people coming, and they're just like, you see that they don't always know each other. Then they start having this conversation like, whoa, like you're wearing that, or you've picked up that, like, man, I was at this game, or this is why I support them, and you get all these really cool stories that start to come about, and it's just, I think it's just something nice about it, right? Like it's like a friendly, like a talking point or something that's you might have in common. Like I think the fact that we are in Australia and we're sort of a little bit disconnected from very serious rivalries and things like that makes it a little bit easier too, so that we can enjoy that space a lot more as a consumer, as a collector, and a football fan.
Yeah, definitely. Like even like moving forward to the 80s with jerseys and stuff like that. I love getting messages from people like saying, is this real? Is this authentic? Or is this? A lot of people probably don't understand through the 80s when they started bringing, shiny jerseys in, or they were like that Magpies one I showed you with the stripes and the iconic sponsors like Sharp for Manchester United. Like when it comes to Sharp, it's just like it's a United kid straight away through the 80s. And like as jerseys evolved through the early 80s into the late 80s, it's just so many iconic jerseys. And
I love a good sponsor.
Oh, mate.
Absolutely love a good sponsor.
I think I don't know if this is just like a bias to United fans though, right? You guys had some belters through, like from 80s through to 2000, early 2000s, like you had some crackers. I think as soon as sort of Chevrolet took over, that's sort of, I think that maybe reflective of the team as performances around that time. But as soon as Chevrolet took over, it was sort of like a bit uninspiring. But before that was just like how, like Vodafone, like how does a mobile company seem like one of the coolest sponsors to have? You know what I mean? I know we're on the 80s part now, so we probably should run it back to Sharp, but like talk about iconic sponsors.
No, we talk sponsors, yeah.
One of my favorites is Doc Martens on the West Ham. The Decanio one I showed you before, Adam, and it's just like Doc Martens, a sponsor. Like I've got a
get it out, Jordan. Get it out. Get your.
I just love them. So you got
your Decanio.
I've got a Buddy Super Florentina Nintendo like that.
Yes.
Yeah,
I love it. Like I just love when they make it work so well with the jersey. Like the Doritos was it Fulham?
Yeah, and Wolves had them as well. Yeah.
Wolves, yeah, sorry, Wolves. Pizza Hut was Fulham.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
It's so cool to see like the evolution of them, but now it's just becoming a thing of like. Back then it was like, I don't know if it was more of a style thing or something, or people like to have cool things on their jerseys. But now I'm like, you look at sponsors and you go, that's shit.
Yeah. It's a bit deflating. Like half the time you don't know who they are. It's either like well, for a period of time it was a coin of some sort, and then it's like a financial institute of another betting agency, whatever. But I think, when you can actually connect to the brand, and I think it's easier looking back retrospectively, right? When you're like, you see Sega, right? Say for Arsenal, and you're like, oh man, remember when we used to play Sega? And you're like, remember the derbies with Arsenal? And you're like, oh, okay, this is sort of like that. It feels good, right? Like it's something nice like that. But some of the sponsors that I loved were like really obscure. Like there's a Regina shirt, and I think like luckily at the time I think they had Hidetoshi Nakata and Andrea Pirlo, I think in the same squad. They might have been a couple of years apart, but I remember them both wearing a shirt with the same sponsor, and it's just like a Cafe Mauro sponsor, right? Like it's not a massive brand, but all they did was just match the Regina like Moroni color, and then for the away kit just invert it to white, and it was like fit the shirt. And I'm like, you don't see coffee sponsors often. I just think it's cool. Like it's not alcohol, it's not gambling, it's not electronics. It's kind of something a little bit different, still consumer kind of fun. All right, something you can kind of buy into a little bit, and I was like, "That's sick." Yeah. And the other ones are like I think Fiorentina had a couple of cool Gelati sponsor ones as well. I was like,
they've always had nice kits, man.
I've got a couple on Instagram. I've got Stereo Mate MUFC. He said there was a sponsor, Pizza Hut, for there was one, and Dean Garden from up in Queensland. He said the only sponsor you need is KFC.
Unless you're Mark Milligan and cops a fine for wearing his captain's band over the KFC sponsor on his victory shirt for however many games that was.
And he wanted to confirm with you, Paul, what team you support. He
I'm
thinks
a
it's
Chelsea fan.
Liverpool.
Yeah.
He's a Chelsea
No,
fan.
no.
Yeah,
I'm a
yeah.
Chelsea fan. Yeah.
Just to get that
No,
one out of the
cool.
way. Yeah.
No, yeah. If I was a Liverpool fan, I probably wouldn't be on this podcast. Let's be real.
Yeah.
I also
Well,
probably was. I wasn't.
What we try and
I was-
do when we do a show like this is we try and keep the team aside. If someone was a Liverpool fan, I would just go, as
Yeah.
long as you're not wearing
It'll
a
be like
jersey, you're fine.
It'll be like a pixelated kind of section where my hand is right now, right? It'll be
Yeah.
one of those kind of like explicit content.
You know the good thing about like the Sharp. I'll bring up 1984-86 jersey. So this is probably, I think was a large kids jersey. This one here. So this is an original. The Sharp jersey on the thing with the Sharp jerseys was on the back of their programs. They always had like Sharp electronics on the back and things like that. So you used to see the old stereos on the back and everything like that, and the old TVs and you just, so I always relate it to looking at the back of the programs and stuff like that. What's this one? That's a 1990 Sharp. What's this one?
Yeah,
88.
sick.
And I've got an 88. I have got other ones as well. But yeah, like the Sharp sponsor is just so good. Yeah, and like that, they went all the way. What they go to 2000? I think 2000 they were around till. So
Yeah, up until Vodafone, right? From
Yeah.
I think, around then. Yeah,
2001
I think it's
Vodafone came in, didn't they?
90. This was the last one with. Where is it here? With Sharp.
because 1999 was the Sharp View Cam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2000 was
Oh,
So they
Alvaro
went from that. They
Vodafone,
went from
yeah.
this.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's get back up there. Yeah, so they went from this, and then the following season they had, and they used the same away strip, and then they
Yeah,
put the
2000s.
Vodafone on. Yeah. So it's two the
Yeah,
same
right.
jerseys, just different sponsors. Yeah.
That's the famous one with the fan got into the team photo or something, isn't it? That
Yeah. So
fully kitted out, runs onto the pitch, and then jumps in the team photo. I think that's
but I did like that Sharp one. Like I did some research on that, and they only used it in 2 games. They used it when they came to Australia, played in that, and they used it for the Charity Shield against Arsenal. That was it. The only 2 games. That's it.
It's crazy.
And
Like, we see it now
remember-
often, like with World Cups, you only play. They might only get 3 games in the shirt that they wear, and it's a whole big deal. I remember, I think Mexico was one of the ones I remember. And they released this big release. The shirt, it's like cool. It's probably the coolest shirt for the whole World Cup, and then they don't wear it at all. It's like, well,
Yeah.
okay, that's kind of deflating.
Yeah, but that's what
Yeah.
I was saying to you. Like, I see that Sharp one around, and people have like the Premier League badges on it and stuff like that. And it's like, you're trying to
Yeah.
sell and people don't know that. So people will go
No.
and buy that jersey. And it's like, it kills me to see that people have gone and bought
Yeah.
a Sharp away strip with Premier League name set on the back, because it only just had, what do you call it? They used to use the cup name set on the back.
Yeah.
In Australia, they didn't even have numbers on it. Names on it. They didn't have names on it when they wore it against Australia.
Yeah, outside of season, you're not really used. Yeah, it's a funny one, isn't it? Because I don't know, like it's hard to say without actually being there back then, right? But I don't know, I don't recall many club or like match day stores offering customization. So, if they're buying that shirt and then putting it on, later, maybe I don't know, maybe it's a hard thing to say, right? Because like if I knew that Chelsea wasn't going to wear a particular shirt, but I was at the game. Would I go and get my favorite player's name on it with patches? Probably, because you don't like. I guess maybe at the time I'm probably not thinking about like.
Names never really came on
the
jerseys
aftermath.
until names started coming on jerseys around when the Premier League started. So what, 1994? Yeah, around 93. Yeah, that was the only time. Like even like this one was from the old Mega Store, and so like you've got. They didn't have the Umbro on the bottom or anything like that. It was 2-piece name sets and stuff like that. Even I don't think I've got one with. Oh yeah, here. So like even then, like that one, you've just got the 9. That's it.
Yeah, wow. Okay, so that's interesting because I've seen a few, obviously, with those with name sets as well. It's one thing I must admit. You mentioned the 2-piece thing. Even with sponsors, like the Sharp, like that 3D like make of the sponsor itself, and that for Man United that ran all the way through until mid 2000s.
Yeah.
It wasn't pressed, right? It's just this beautiful like thick. It makes a heavy shirt feel heavier. it's almost like it's got a weight point, and
Yeah.
it's just like feels substantial. It's so nice.
Well, that's it. Like the two-piece, like this is a two-piece name set here, so
Yeah.
you can see like there's spaces, and like it's actually three-piece. So you got your black trim, then you got your yellow, and then they go on as well.
Yeah,
They're
insane.
separate as well. So that's how they work. I managed to hook up with a guy that's still in touch with guys that used to still make the old name sets, player name sets from the 90s and stuff like that. They still run name sets. So you can still pick them up, like player version name sets or felt and everything like that. And
Yeah, I've seen them from time to time. I think
You
it's
gotta
some
be
Facebook
careful.
group. I think it's you do. Yeah, there's obviously a lot of reproduction ones out there, but
yeah,
there's a Facebook group where this guy, I can't remember the name of the group, but I think it's some sort of like specific team supporter group. And from time to time, he just dumps. There's like, hey, I got a stack of extra stuff. And
Yeah.
it's all, man, incredible condition. I don't know, like I'd be probably a little bit apprehensive to putting it on any shirts,
yeah.
maybe from an adhesive point of view, but like still so cool. The fact that you can get it is wild. Like I looked at it and it's heavily expensive, but
Yeah.
sometimes probably worth more than the shirt. But
Cheap. Yeah, it's like when you go to classic football. Is it classic football, the one in the UK? Like they when I went there, like a lot of their jerseys, they just put their own name set on them, and it's like it actually kills the jersey. It's a crazy. I think some of their jerseys that they do.
I heard
with all
mixed
that
reviews
name
about
set.
their Australian tour. I wasn't well, I didn't go down, but yeah, I heard a few mixed reviews.
Yeah. It's like they got unbelievable the jerseys that they collect and stuff like that. It's crazy, but
Oh man, their access.
oh, it's next
That's
level.
what I
Isn't
mean,
it?
but
Yeah.
they got the best access in the world to jerseys.
Oh,
They
yeah, I've
do
heard-
a forum with TikTok, and they do like a thing every couple of weeks or so where they go through their vault and they show off items, and they've got stuff from
yeah.
like 92 match worn like Maldini AC Milan jersey, and you're going, how the fuck do you find that? Like, that
But
would
I
be
guess
perfect
the point is
right
to.
there. Perfect.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It would, yeah, same.
But when you-
I guess when you've got that kind of pulling power, right? They've obviously, they sponsor Burnley, so they're not short of a quid either. So if someone says, "Hey, here's a shirt, it's worth whatever excessive amount. Do you want it?" And they'll go, "Yeah, we'll take it," because to someone else, it's probably worth a bit more. And it's easy.
Yeah.
It makes it a little bit easier to access when you got some capital behind you, right? From a business
And
point
they
of view.
also
But,
work with a lot of players too. Like they do YouTube videos with a guy who does away days. I don't know if you've seen any videos of him.
Yeah,
but he
Ellis,
has,
yeah.
like, Ellis, yeah, he's great. But he like the players they get into the store alone, like there's memorabilia coming in just from them.
Yeah. They did actually a really funny video with Bad Stuber very recently, and he basically comes to the counter pretending to be a customer, and he's like, "Do you guys have?" I think he wants to give his jersey. He's like, I don't know, like trying to sell it to them or something. And he's like, they're like, "How do you prove that this is Holger Badstuber's jersey?" And he's like, "I am Holger Badstuber."
Yeah.
So, it's kind of funny. It's obviously not like a super mainstream player either, but it's pretty cool. One of the things I look at, I've spoken to that many people over the years in this space, but there was two really cool points on classic football shirts that I thought was amazing from a access point of view. Is I heard early on, and this I don't know how true this is either, and there might not be any credibility behind that, but they have formal agreements with the equivalent to like say Salvation Army in the UK. So any football shirt that comes in, straight to them.
Yeah,
So
right.
imagine how many people would have just gone, yeah, we're moving house, dump it, and then they just get the pick of the bunch basically.
Well,
and I'm sure what comes with that is probably a lot of trash too, but
it's funny you
that,
say
and then
that.
there was another story that was basically them, I think with reaching out to, I think it was AC Milan or someone like that around, hey, do you guys have any dead stock shirts that you couldn't sell or couldn't move? And apparently they're like, yeah, here, take all this, and a bunch of it was from like the Champions League winning years that had tags on it and names on it, and just wild.
Mental. It's funny you say that though, because Ellis from Away Days, we're shouting him out a bit here, but he used to do a thing where he used to go to like the charity stores and he used to go through the cheap like jersey piles and he'd pick out a heap just to resell on his Depop.
Yeah.
And I think what's happened is, I don't know this for a fact, but from what I've read and stuff is now that he works with classic football shirts, they now get the opportunity to do that instead of him. and go through all the jerseys that, as you say, the Salvation Army, pick out what they want. And, you're picking out early 90s jerseys and you're getting them for 20 quid.
Yeah.
And you're like,
it's pretty crazy.
fuck.
We so I don't know how I don't know if you guys will know Alex. I think Shobi, you probably know Alex. He's a United fan as well. He runs Talking Shirt, that football.
Yeah,
photography.
yeah.
He was,
I love his show. It's great.
So back COVID, I guess you could say, around when we could, we'd catch up and try and run a podcast around football shirts. And one of the days we were like, all right, you know what, let's go and we're going to try and do a similar thing to what Alice is doing in Australia. So we go to the inner suburbs of just outside CBD in Melbourne, and first shop, duck eggs. Second shop, duck eggs. We look at each other like, well, are we seriously going to do this? Like, we got to the point where we stopped filming it, and we're like, we're just going to film when we find something. And we went the whole day, didn't find a single thing. But then we were both so adamant to find something. We were like, every time we just coincidentally drove past an op shop or a thrift shop, we're just like, oh, we'll go have a look. I reckon I went to 20. The best I found was a 2015 Real Madrid home shirt, and I was like, I don't know. I'm trying to dabble in like the 90s, maybe early 2000s. I don't know if I can do with a shirt that's not 5 years old. So it wasn't a great success in here in Australia.
Mate, the best one I did, and I tell people this one, I do the thrifty shops all the time, right? And I've only ever found one, and it was a 1990 Arsenal jersey when they, how they had premiers underneath their jersey, that one.
Yeah.
I found that. I bought it for $8.
Nice. That's great. Jordan, you got any good thrift stories?
I've actually got a pretty good one, I didn't find it myself. My cousin actually does like vintage reselling through thrift shops and stuff as like a little side hobby. And one day I'm at work and he rings me and he's like, hey, mate, you might want to come down to this op shop at Warners Bay. I'm thinking, no, I don't. Like, I'm all right. I don't want you the shirt or whatever it is. And he goes, no, there's a signed Ryan Giggs and a signed Ruud Van Nistelrooy jersey here. And I'm like, are they real? And he goes, like, he's a football fan too. And he's like, I think so. He goes, I'll get him to put it aside for you and come down and have a look when you finish. Anyway, I just left straight away. I didn't even wait till I finished work. I just left straight down there. I'm looking at him and I rang Adam and I was like, do you think these are real? Like the autographs, to me, they look real. And he just goes, they're 100% real. And the backstory was a guy came over here for work from the UK. He was a Manchester United fan and he was coming over here for like a long period of time. So he brought over heaps of his memorabilia because he was actually going to live here, but work recalled him and he couldn't take it all on his flight. And he was like, oh, I just don't want it. So it come with all like certificates from like the club, things like that. They were $70 each in a frame.
That is insane.
Yeah, and the lady behind the counter goes, because they got put behind the counter, they literally put them out as like my cousin Kai was walking through the store. And she goes, when I went to pick them up, she goes, I thought these might have been like pretty cool items because like my son's a football fan and he asked who they are. And she goes, I just forgot to reply to him. So lucky for you.
Imagine that. Missing out on those two just on I forgot to reply.
I would spray my mum if I found that out. But yeah, they're two good ones. And he also found me that's that Liverpool one I showed you before. I had
okay.
He's I just found in my collection then. He found is it 95, you reckon?
You know the green one?
The green and white Liverpool away with the centered badge of Carlsberg.
Yeah.
Yeah, he found me that for $16.
Good steal.
Yeah. I had one where
I tried to fleece a Liverpool fan for that one just to as an
I've never had it. It's like in the bottom of a box.
Just damage it as much as possible.
Before when I was trying to find it.
I found one online. A lady had a United 80s jersey. I can't remember what year it was. It might have been that 84 one. And it was all in a frame, and the frame was all battered and everything like that. And I wrote to her, I said, and she only had it up for like $50. And I said to her, I said, look, I don't want the frame. You can pull the frame apart. I said, I just want the jersey. I said, I'm happy to just pay what you want for it. are you willing to just get rid of the frame? She said, yeah, I'll pull it out. And it was like stapled on and everything like that. And I said, look, can you be gentle taking the staples out and everything like that? And I said to her, how did you come across it? How did you get it? And she said to me, I actually used to work for a guy, a doctor or something like that. He was a Mad United supporter. And he had a heap of United stuff that was left to her. He left it at her house, but he ended up passing away in between all that. So she's tried to contact. She hadn't spoken to him for a long time. So she tried to contact him. Obviously wasn't around. So now she's got all his gear.
Man.
And, yeah.
Can you send through that contact, please?
Yeah. Well, she never had any other United stuff, but she had like movie stuff and everything like that. And just like always, like a tip for people, always try and find background stories. It's just nuts. Some of the stuff you hear or get, it's crazy. Yeah. I know we're a little bit off topic there, but I'm going to show you one thing that I what do you call it? That I used to wear as a kid, a Buffalo tracksuit. So I think it was when I was under 14s or 15s. This is when like peak jerseys. What are we? I reckon end of the 80s, where we thought we were pretty cool in our trackies. This is when I used to play for Sylvania Heights, and I've actually still got patches to put on this. This is we won the Champion of Champions, we won the league and everything like that. But mate, I tell you what, we thought we were special in this trackie, eh? We used to wear it
for Australia.
Yeah. So this is when
it's given me a bit of Stone Island about it, actually. The sleeve patch there. I can see you wearing that now. It's maybe you are just every podcast just getting the badging.
Mate, it's crazy. Some of the stuff. I've even got some of my trophies back from the 80s all the way through the 90s and stuff like that. Like
That's
that.
So good.
Yeah, you got to keep these things. These are iconic. Like when our team was together and we were wearing these, like in the late 80s, far out, mate. We thought we were top shit, man.
Oh,
So that was probably under 14s, 15s. And you used to go to like the Champions grand final and stuff like that. We had a pretty red hot side. And, mate, you rocked up in this. You couldn't miss us. It was so good. It's like that.
There's a thing with junior football, right, where you pull up in the same gear and you're all matching, you're all kind of look the part.
Oh,
At least I reckon there's got to be like an intimidation card that you're trying to play there, because then the other team pulls up. One's wearing different colors, one's doing this. I remember getting to men's football, and one of the clubs I was playing at, they're like, nah, like slacks, polo shirt, club polo shirt, dress shoes. That was the thing, right? Mandatory every week. You had to pull up those. And the whole thing behind it was the psychological. It was like, if you pull up and you look like you can play, you're already one step ahead. I was like, oh, okay, fair enough.
Yeah, I agree with that. We used to rock up, everyone even have like backpacks with like your number on them or your initials or something. And you're thinking, fuck, we're in for a game here, boys.
Yeah, these guys are serious. And it's all the gear and no idea.
Lucky. We were that lucky as kids. Like we even had sponsors like EPL Cone, which is a lifting company and stuff like that. Yeah.
Try it on.
Yeah, come on, do it.
Mate, it'd be skin tighter, let me tell you.
Put on the Miranda one. We want to see that Miranda first season kit, mate. Come on.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. All right. Anyway, let's move out of the 90s and move into the wait a sec. Do you think in the 90s they are the most iconic jerseys or the best designed jerseys up until now? Like this one, like the Snowflake. Like when the Snowflake came out, no one were thinking, mate, that's really outrageous, right? It was an outrageous jersey. But me, I wanted it. It was one of the first jerseys I really wanted. But like now, it's so iconic, this jersey, even though they only wore it a few times.
Well, you look at that Bruised Banana Arsenal one. Like that is.
Yeah.
Everyone's that. And I think it's, personally, I don't like it at all. But I understand why people want it. Yeah. It's such a collectible thing.
I think iconic for sure. Like the 90s, obviously, like there's this, as you saw, like in the 80s, right? Sponsors started creeping in. So obviously, like money started getting pushed into football, right? So I think that there's a couple of things, that there's TV and there's like obviously the success that comes along with the club, and also the age of people now that are remembering back then. So like the TV thing makes it easily like remembered, right? So that taps into that nostalgia piece. The success of the club, I think, is big. It's important. And I think it helps, especially, maybe in 10 years time from now, we'll look back to say like, 2000 and 10 to 15 and be like,
Yeah.
oh, I remember that. Like that was so cool when, this club won, whatever, we might start thinking, I'm not going to say City shirts in this chat, but, we might start thinking something along those lines might be a little bit more special than
United
what
Zebra.
they are now. I'm sorry. That is on my list for the worst shirt of all time. That I reckon there might be one other shirt that competes with it.
Chevrolet, man, like far out.
no.
It's unreal, isn't it? Like when they came out with that, I mean, we've
Oh,
got
no,
green
don't-
all over
People
it.
having a
Careful.
bath.
Hang on. I think
That is a combo.
you could not have put a worse name on the worst shirt.
Yeah, that's a combo.
Jeez.
But he
yeah,
scored
coming back
goals
to
the other day.
90s. Oh, he did actually. Yeah, I think coming back to what you're asking, yeah, I definitely think 90s has to be the most iconic. I think it's sort of like the pinnacle of like nostalgia, commercial like viability, and like cool designs as well, right? Just for the fun of it.
Yeah. Have you got that DeCanio one handy? Do you know whereabouts it is? Didn't you put that one on the ground so you could easily access it?
It's in the cupboard. I can't see it though. 'Cause
Yeah,
it's
grab
made
it, grab it. It's mate, this jersey, and like I still remember DeCanio as a player, mate. He was so good, mate. DeCanio, he was friggin'
Oh,
unreal
mate,
player.
wild.
Yeah,
Crazy
Well, look at
operator too.
look at that. Feeler,
That's so good.
Dr. Martin, DeCanio,
Yeah, it's
just
beautiful.
crazy jersey.
Nice kit too, yeah. Like you could just wear
Yeah.
that and you're not, like you dress it up just down sort of thing, right? Like it's
Yeah, well,
Oh, man.
I like 90s. That's just my especially now that of how into the collecting of the jerseys I am.
Yeah.
90s to me, everything like the old school, like Zidane's, the France kits, the England kits. Like,
Yeah.
I just love
What-
them
what
all.
was
Like, I just
the-
think
what-
that just the simplicity of it.
And
like,
Doc
the
Martens is cool, right? It's like we were
football
saying before
accurate,
about sponsors. Yeah.
like everything's just well done.
That Zidane one you sent me, Jordan. What year was that? And Del Piero. They're early 2000s,
This
late
one?
90s. Yeah.
Yeah. Late 90s.
I think that's 96, 97. They're all about the same. That's the problem. Like,
Yeah.
I'm fairly sure it's 96. I think you're right. I think it's 96,
it's supposed to
97.
have,
is right.
if you look on the in the right where the capper is opposite, sorry, that'd be the left. So the opposite side, the right, there's supposed to be the Scudetto patch, but it's fallen off this one. I actually have got it over there to re-put on.
One thing I find, this one's actually 97, 98. The one things I find really weird about Italian shirts, especially like from the late 90s, there's like so many variations of sponsors for one, but like where the Scudetto patch would go, and it was like, I think like AC Milan from like, I think it might even be like earlier 90s, like 94, 95-ish. It was like there's a trophy patch on one, there's a trophy patch on the sleeve, there's a Scudetto patch on one part. It's like I've had 6 different variations of the same shirt, and it's just like, how I can't keep up. That's a cracker. That's 2002.
So that's the 99, 98, 99. It's got no one on the back, but I need to add someone. But that's like they have this. They're all the same style, but either the Scudetto's there, it's there, it's in the center. Like every year, it was changing in that time.
Yeah.
Even Opal, like in Italian football, like that jersey.
That's a beauty. That reminds me of Shevchenko.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Young little Shevchenko. But then, I don't know. I've got heaps. Like you got France Euro 96. Oh,
6, yeah.
Fucking that's a bit.
Oh,
How
the
good are those
laces.
patches on those? They're so thick and heavy. It's so good.
Oh
Yeah.
man, they're like honestly, that one's a little bit thinner, but the actual patch, like it's that thick you can bend it because it's been sitting folded up. Like normally they just flims around, but
Yeah.
that's I'd love to have had someone on the back of that, but even the design of it, I don't know if you can see, but it's got all like the France. What do you call it? Like the little rooster thing. All
Yeah,
through
through the
that.
base layer, yeah. That's one
Yeah.
thing I think they miss now, right? Like I grabbed a couple of shirts that I thought I might show to you guys, but it's the same kind of thing through the base layer on
Like
well, 2 out of the 3, because one of them's a more recent shirt. But I've got like the USA 94, and it's exactly
Oh,
the
mate,
same.
that's
with
how I asked you to get if you had that. didn't I?
no,
Fucking
that
love
is
man.
a top 3 kit I need to buy in my collection.
That jersey. Oh my god.
Yeah,
man.
oh, man,
like,
like
that is
it-
oh,
it's-
Roberto
it's
Baggio,
adorable.
man. Diodora.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
But it's the
my
same thing,
Lord.
right? It's that, like, you're saying about the base layer. Like, it's probably maybe the light's not doing much justice here, but they
Yeah.
did something in the 90s that was just beautiful through, like, it's not even like
Yeah.
now we do it through sublimation, right? Back then, it's like it's actually in the material. There's like a texture to it.
Yeah.
I've got another one here that's I've got a couple of Sampdoria shirts. So my mum's family's from Genoa, right? And they're Sampdoria fans. So you can't really see this. This actually has. Oh, you can. There you go. It's,
Yeah,
it's
I
got
can
footballs
see it.
through
Yeah,
the base with the
football
net.
and that.
That is
It's like this is
unbelievable.
wild,
good.
right? But this is one that I love and I like will never get rid of, right? But two
If
absolute.
you are
belters,
ever
but-
selling that jersey, you have to message me.
it's funny, right? Because I was actually so my uncle was over at my house earlier today, and my mum's side of the family is Italian.
Yep.
And it just so one of my cousins gave me this bootleg Juventus jersey, and he's like, "Oh, it was our grandfather's shirt," and I was like it was it was cool. It was nice. It's nice to have, but it was almost like an extra small men's, and I was like, I know how big he was. There's no way he's fitting into this ever. Period. Right. So I said that to my uncle, like, "Hey, do you know if this was his?" He's like, "No." He wore one shirt, football shirt, my entire life. I was like, "What was it?" He's like, "The USA '94 home shirt." And he goes, "Someone went to the States to watch World Cup, like a family friend, and they bought it back and they gave it to him." And I'm like, "Okay, cool. So sorry, but I'm never going to sell that one just because of that story that I learned today." So
100%.
that's a bit of a weird kind of like full circle moment, I guess. But back to the base layer is wild.
Do you have the Sampdoria one with the laces up here? I think it's 94.
Yeah, it's behind me. I can get it for you.
That is one of my all-time favorite kits. I've got it somewhere. I don't know exactly where it is.
Have you got like a safe for your jerseys?
Man,
So they're actually like your gym lockers.
Oh right,
Yeah.
yeah.
They're kind of like those ones. So this is kind of.
Oh, he does. Have a look at this.
This is my
the
personal
Aztecs
collection.
on this
Nuts.
and that. That is
look
one of
at
my
that.
favorite kits.
Oh my god.
It's a beautiful one, but similar base layer. I don't know if you can tell though.
Yeah.
It's got a similar
Yeah,
base layer to the previous one with the footballs and stuff through the material. So maybe they were a bit stingy and decided to go back to back. But I love it, man. Scudetto patch as well. Like which is for them one, right? Like there's not too many of this.
I reckon in Italy was more adventurous with fashion.
Italy 90s are my favorite kits.
Yeah.
Out of
Yeah,
everywhere.
I think they were more fashionable through Italy and things like that when it came to the 90s and stuff like that. Like United's had these two with the laces, and they did have through it, but they weren't adventurous enough. They just have like the M, the U, the Umbro through it, and I think it was the same with that one as well. Yeah, so the M, and then they got like a UFC in it and stuff like that. Whereas Sampdoria, like they got a football net in there. They got a ball. They're like well adventurous into Italian fashion when it came to like I know in Australia when in the 80s you had that's all you ever used to watch was Italian football. Like I was a massive fan of Paolo Rossi. Like most people wouldn't even know who Paolo Rossi is. Like he was an unbelievable striker, man. 1982 World Cup, man. Holy shit. Every Paolo Rossi, you had players like that, man. I used to go to school and just brag on about the way he used to finish and stuff like that. And mate,
isn't he I think he's like one of 2 or 3 players to win World Cup, Ballon d'Or, and there's 3 awards in the same like calendar year.
Yeah, right.
It might be Golden Boot as well. I could be wrong. It could be another award. Well, I'm sure they won the World Cup that he may have.
Mate, he was a tallish kind of bloke, real skinny. He just used to skin blokes for fun, and his finishing detail was that good. Like,
something outrageous was like 100. I read it the other day because I love my Italian football. I just love watching it still to this day. But I think it was something on a quiz where I seen a guy answer and he had 134 goals in like 150 something games or something. Like the return on him, like scoring was like every game in like 10 minutes or something like that. He was guaranteed a goal.
It's wild, right? Like I guess football's different.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're playing as many games. They probably weren't, right? But I'm assuming that's probably half the thing with the stats that's hard to compare because now the guys are pumping out 50 odd games a year. Plus assuming say league and cup matches in there too, right? For the players that are going to be scoring to the high level of amount of goals per year. So it could be an insane amount of football, right? But which warrants 50-goal seasons. But I guess it's proof that when you see like a Messi where it pops up with, whatever that stupid season was that he had, 90 something, I think it was.
98, wasn't it? 92.
Yeah, something silly, but it's just like how. So then, maybe running it back to Palorossi, right? Like, how does a player do that? Like, that's in the time that they, football's probably a little bit harder and defenders tackle a little bit harder, and you gotta be a master of the craft, right?
Reversing like Italian defenders. That's where the art of defending comes from.
Oh yeah, man.
Like fuck.
I always talk about Baresi, Maldini, players like
Yeah.
that, man. Far out. And like you look at, I don't want to get into Italian football and go totally off topic, but you have a look at where they are now compared to where they were. Like it's crazy. I know they won the Euros a few years ago, didn't they, or something like that? But when it comes to World Cup, like they have never qualified for the World Cup. What was that, last one or something like that?
Last
Thanks
two
for the
World
last
Cups,
two.
Yeah, it's
And they're on the
crazy
brink
how
of
that
not qualifying for another one.
Yeah. Oh, really? They at that stage
Yeah,
to not qualify
not-
for the next year?
There's still potential to qualify, but it's a bit of a.
That's nuts.
It does- I'm
They're
not really
really
confident with
lacking in
that.
a few key areas though, like because they were pretty lucky when they had that Chiellini and Bonucci as the centre backs, and you had Buffon in goal and Pirlo in front of them, Marquisio. Like, there's like 6 or 7 players you could go. They could fit into any club in the world, but now it's like they're pretty young, man. Now the Italians, and they're just
you see over the years, like nations, and there's times where you'll have like a big nation not qualify for a major tournament, right? Like I think there was France with. Oh, what tournament did they miss? I think it's
Mate,
USA
England done it in the 94 World Cup.
Yeah, oh, that's right. It was England 94. USA missed one. I remember there was a squad with like Cantona, David Ginola, Deschamps. They were stacked, and it's like, how does this team not qualify?
Yeah, they're not the
England
favourite to win it.
missed 2002, I think. Yeah, like it's wild, right? Like, so I think when they missed the first one, or the first or the last two, I thought, oh, they've got to come back. And then the next one, you're like, oh man, we missed again. Like, how?
They wore
It's
it in this
crazy.
World Cup, the 98 one.
Yeah, they were actually. Yeah, the Italy shirt 98 is actually nice too. But yeah, no, I love that France kid. That
When he
even
came on
the
the
away. Yeah, away is
Spain came
underrated
on
for
the
that shirt.
Here's that
Beautiful,
name
yeah.
set on the back of that. It's beautiful,
Massive.
man.
It's huge,
So
too.
good.
It's in very, very good condition. There's a couple of stains down the bottom here and whatnot.
Speaking
but
of, actually, we had
again,
we had
like,
a guy
this has
come
been
sell-
this is preserved in the cupboard. Like I don't wear them ever. So most of
No.
my kits, I'd only get them if they're in like very, very good condition because they're a collectible thing for me, not a.
Oh, especially that shirt too, right? Like that's. I think you see the away. You see the home probably more frequently, but to find an
Yeah.
away like that with a Zidane on the back, that's cool as because there's a sick photo of him scoring in the away shirt too. Like,
Yeah,
there's some crackers from that
I
time.
think I've actually got the home as well. I just it's somewhere.
Amongst the other 399
That's,
shirts that are there.
that's like that's
Yeah, that's wild.
that's about 30% of them.
You might need some of my theory. I guess like I've got access, right? So I've got the stock, but I got to a point where, well, the reason that the cupboard is the cupboard behind me was the business went from being like from an office to a garage to a shop, right? So the start, well, when it was just an office, it was literally like a part of, I had a computer in there and I had these lockers, right? These lockers are now in my garage, but the lockers were all the kits that I had in stock plus my own personal ones. So it started off as sort of like one locker, and I got a photography business, so I had 3 lockers of like equipment and lights and things like that. And then eventually it just became all football shirts, and it was like, all right, now they went from being all stock to then all personal stuff. And I'm like, okay, all the stock's in the garage, all my personal stuff was inside in the lockers. And I'm like, okay, what do I do about this? So I was like, all right, now my rule is 1 in, 1 out. So if I get one in, I'm like, I've got to sacrifice something. But it kind of comes to what we were talking about prior to
I need to do 2 out, 1 in.
maybe. But you get a bit of, like we were saying earlier prior to the podcast, you get a bit of like seller's remorse where you're like, oh, I shouldn't have let that one go. And
Well, a bit
I've
different
got
now.
a-
My
Dino-
collection's changed a bit.
Dino's
I've got-
given us a subject for a podcast. Let's talk mafia and Italian football.
yes, we basically the Diego Maradona documentary covers most of that, I think.
Yeah, wow.
One of many.
Different over the last probably 2 years. I've gone now more into the match worn scene instead of just the jerseys alone. Like I've tried to, instead of buying like 3 or 4 authentic kits and whatever, I try and go and get a match worn jersey. Does that make sense?
That's awesome. I've actually speaking of, I've actually got one that I wanted to show you that I don't know many people know that I have this actually. So I mentioned Alex earlier. So thankfully, Alex was the Socceroos photographer.
Yep.
For a lot of the time, like a long period of time. He actually gifted me this. So I was super gassed because match. I don't think it'll be match one. I'm going to assume match issued, but you guys probably can't see. But it's got the match dates
Yeah.
as well. So it's a Carol's
Holy
match kit.
fucking
And I thought
shit.
off the back of the World Cup, like that is pretty sick. But this is the Asian Cup shirt. So 10th of Feb, 2024 in Qatar. So yeah, pretty gassed with this. This is one I won't wear because I'm a bit skeptical of how authentics age.
Well, most people know. Most people don't know too. With the Socceroos jerseys, the badge that is on the Socceroos jersey isn't the same badge that you get when you buy from, say, a shop or something like that. So you know what?
Correct. So the Socceroos jersey has the coat of arms on it, right? So you look at any kind of national sport for Australia, there's usually the coat of arms is the reason for representing the country, right? Or the proof of that you are representing the country. So, and that can't be sold commercially. So the reason that you get, like, you know, say if you go to your Ultra Footballs, your Rebel Sports, or wherever you buy your kits from, even if you get the authentic version, there's a variation of the crest that is usually, I think it's the Football Australia logo.
Yeah, right.
So yeah, obviously to bridge the gap between, you know, like the coat of arms, which can't be sold, and then like a commercially available version. So it's pretty good because that means that I think Australia is probably one of the only nations that has that different crest.
Yeah.
From
I think
fan
it's
to player.
That's
Right?
really
So,
cool. I didn't know that. I don't. Have
I don't know too many other nations that if there is, there may be, but yeah, I don't know too many other countries that have that.
And we're
that
probably
option.
we're probably one of the only countries too that recycles their international jerseys as well. So most people don't really know that either. So
no, it's pretty
Football
good.
Federation Australia has actually got a factory at Botany. So when their junior teams have to hand back their kits once they represent their country.
That's pretty good. That's good, especially if it goes to into reworking into something else or however it gets reused. As long as
I think it's pretty embarrassing, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
you represent your country and you don't get to keep your jersey.
Oh, you'd hope you'd keep it. You'd hope that that's an option, right?
They don't. They don't get to keep it. I know because my kids are around all that. So
that's crazy.
unless you make a semi-final where you get to get your name set on the back of the jersey, you don't keep the jersey. You have to hand it back. Tracksuits, socks, the lot.
Socks.
So everything. You have to hand back everything. You can't.
I just got cut holes in it all. Fuck them.
Yeah. You can't. You got to give it back. Like say, junior Matildas or young Matildas, stuff like that. That their jerseys will get recycled. Unless they make a unless they make a semi-final or something like that.
That's really interesting. Yeah. So there was a bunch of stuff that popped up on eBay. I'm gonna say maybe 6 months ago, and a lot of it was this like player type of stuff. Or I think it was.
Some of them do take it and don't give it back, but the rule is you need to Yeah.
But these were all brand new. So this was the thing. They were brand new, still tagged. I think they might have been in, like, the packaging still. So I don't know if this guy's somehow like intercepted somewhere between this junior story. But I think it was weird because I think they were like standard materials, but I can't remember if it had the coat of arms. I'll have to check that. But either way, it was effectively, you know, for youth team wear, right? So it wasn't your standard retail version. The codes don't match the standard retail version. So it was a very strange listing with all. We're looking into that. I was like, this is if they're being sold, they're probably not being sold on the preface that they've been purchased. If that's the
So like the futsal roos and that, the futsal roos will get, like, men and women. They have to wear recycled jerseys. Even there was one time that last time the girls went over to play, so it's their first year. They never got supplied tracksuits to go on the plane to their international. Wow. They had to rock up to the airport in casual clothes.
Yeah, it's a bit disappointing.
I did an under-14s tournament for New South Wales, and I got given a kit to go to the airport in.
Yeah, but you probably paid $3,000 to go to the tournament. You probably paid $3,000 to go to the tournament.
Me?
Yeah.
Because
my daughter represents New South Wales every year. And what do you call it? You got to pay to go to that tournament.
Mine wasn't for futsal. Mine was just for outdoor football.
Yeah. Well, outdoor tournaments for New South Wales, it's like $2,000. If you play, if you,
Remember us paying, I think,
yeah,
or we just
outdoor
like a
tournaments
selection
now,
big
if you
base.
represent New South Wales, it was when my girls were playing, and it's still now. I know. I talk to people about it. Yeah, it costs you a couple of grand to go.
Oh,
It cost
yeah,
me.
it
It cost
does
my
now,
daughter
like-
for the nationals in January. It's like $1,000 to go to be in the tournament
It's mental.
for futsal.
That is crazy.
Yeah. Anyway,
So we
we're
went
well
from
off, we're well off subject now.
no, we went from Italian football in the 90s through to local football tracks in the airport.
Bagging Football Federation Australia. Fucking hell.
Anyway, we were on match specs. I think the last thing was match spec kids. I think.
Yeah. Yeah, we're going into the 2000s, going into like Nike Dry Fit, Adidas Climate Control. Climate Cool it was in those days. Yeah, far out, man. And those jerseys, so I still remember, like, I think it was 2002, 2003, one of the United jerseys, I think it was
The jewel layer. I know. I think I know
they
where
used
you're
to have
going with
the
this.
inner. They used to have the inner
Yeah.
for player spec ones that went over, like that.
Yeah.
And mate, they couldn't even get it on.
Oh, yeah. There's that. There's like there's a
so
viral
much in
footage of the. I think it's 02 World Cup. Someone from Brazil comes on and obviously like didn't have their kit on to start with. He's trying to get it on and he's like getting tangled on the inlining and stuff. I must admit though, so I had a PSG shirt the same in my personal collection for a while, and awesome in winter. Real like it was a long sleeve with the dual layer. Man, it's almost like you can buy your sort of like your stock standard compression, like your Kmart kind of job, right? For active wear. It was like having a layer of that underneath. So you kind of got this nice like warm interior, but you still got like your big baggy kind of shirt over the top. You can't tell you're wearing anything underneath. So like I don't know about you guys, but I sometimes wear like a shirt under my kit because I want to wear my kit and not wear a jacket, right? So like kind of like double layer it and hope that it's not too cold. It was that, but you didn't have to worry about it. I was like, this is sick. It was so cool, but I must admit, like an absolute nightmare to get on and off.
Well, happened to Diego Forlan. Diego Forlan.
Oh, that's right,
scored a
too.
goal. Yeah, and
Didn't he play
he went
topless?
on a Trojan with running around the pitch.
Yeah.
And then they went to kick off. He couldn't get his jersey in it.
That is hilarious.
On. And then the following game, they eventually got it back on him. The following game, they cut out all the inners on those jerseys.
Yeah.
My mate Shane.
Really?
My mate Shane's actually got a match-worn jersey. I think it's Gary Neville's or it might be Nicky Butts. I think he's got Nicky Butts one. And you can actually see the inner cut out of it. It's unreal.
Oh, that is hilarious. I think I may have this wrong, but I saw something the other day saying that was the game that got a booking. When you get booked for taking off your shirt.
Yeah.
Because that was the game that started that rule.
Yeah, that's right.
Because he couldn't get his shirt back on. They were like, this is the best. Like, don't do
and
it
he had
anymore.
to go off
We've
the
been
pitch as well. So he went off the pitch as well without permission. So there's a booking right there as well.
There you go. Yeah, there you go. See, it's funny how it's football shirts somehow influence the the actual game from a rules point of view.
Well,
But coming back to what you're saying about tech.
Peter Schmeichel basically brought in the rule of the back pass. Let's stop the back pass.
Yeah, because of Denmark, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was crazy. Yeah, well, they won. Was it Euro 80? 88? No. What year was it? What year was
that.
it?
It was around that.
They won
era.
88.
Yeah, it was
I think
World Cup.
Yeah.
88. I think they won it. 88, 84. No, it would have been 88. Yeah, with Laudrup.
Yeah. Crazy. Yeah, crazy. But so coming back to what you're saying about like the tech changes in the 2000s, I think that like I must admit that you mentioned Climacool. I remember having as a kid, I think it was they were Clima warm goalkeeper gloves. So I'm not a goalkeeper, but I don't know. I think it's just a thing to do, right? Someone had goalkeeper gloves, take them to school, and whatever, right?
Yeah.
But I remember having
You put
Clima
them on
warm
and you think
goalkeeper
you're
gloves.
10 times better in goals, don't you?
Yeah, but these Clima warm ones were sick. I don't know. There's an Adidas factory that was close to where I grew up in the southeastern suburbs of Victoria, and they used to do big clearance sales like once or twice a year. And I used to pick up $30 boots. They had like these F50 tune-it packs, right? Where it's like 3 pairs of boots basically in one pack for $30. So it was great. So I used to always go to these mum and dad and try and grab boots for the following year or the year out we're in and whatever. But I grabbed a pair of goalkeeper gloves, and these goalkeeper gloves were the Clima warm. So they were like fleece lined goalkeeper gloves. These are the best. I used to just wear them just for
No,
being
no,
warm.
so you
Like,
just
it
wear
was
them
just,
around.
yeah, it was great. It was so good. But it's like, why are you wearing goalkeeper gloves just cause? Like, you can't hold anything. You can't do anything with your fingers. I guess it's, yeah, you're an age. This is pre-touch phone, so it was fine.
So I'm gonna bring you up something here that I've got the 2002 jersey, right? Brand
Yeah,
new,
nice.
still tags. I've got the tags on it and everything like that.
Beautiful.
So I'm gonna bring you up their tags. So it's hilarious, man. All right. Look at this.
This is the
So you got
vapor tech stuff, isn't
sports
it?
wool. You got sports wool. You got
Wow.
it shows you how good the what do you call it? What it does for you as well. It's all hologram on here and everything like that. It shows you the temperature the jersey gets to and everything like that. And what's it called? Vapor management technology.
Yeah. So I think even on the side of the shirt, there's a vapor tech tag, isn't there? A little black tag somewhere on the
Yeah,
hip.
yeah. Most of them have
So
vapor tech on them, yeah.
I must admit, I reckon hands down, Umbro smashed this out of the park because they obviously did their research and tried to put a bit of technology into it from an early 2000s kind of point, right? As good as it was going to get back then. But I think that shirt is the most comfortable football shirt ever. I don't think there's anyone that is as nice to wear as those. So I'm not going to wear a United shirt because I'm a Chelsea fan, but Chelsea thankfully have the same shirt. And yeah, I've got I think it's Chelsea's third kit. That is so nice to wear.
Yeah.
I've got. Is it? Oh, I don't know if it's the same. Yeah, I've got Chelsea's Umbro white kit. It's got the blue and dark blue or black stripe down the middle.
Yep.
And I think they have Fly Emirates as
Yeah, it's not too far from that. I think there might be.
and it's got like a Lampard on the back. So I don't think Lampard was there in 2000, 2002. I think he was, or maybe he was just signed there from West Ham. I can't remember.
I'm gonna guess and say
Might be 2005 that one actually, or 2004. I think it's just before.
I think it's. Is it the double? Are you talking about like the double stripe one where it's like one black,
Yes.
one blue?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was 03, 04. There is. I actually ran into 05, I think. So
That's a real
like
white
03 to
jersey
05.
I find when I'm holding it. I
Yeah,
picked it up. I don't know where it is, but
Lampard was definitely there.
yeah.
There then. So, but that's like that's your Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank,
Yes.
Ida Johnson, kind of like.
Yeah.
I think that might even be Ian Robin, like
Yeah, I think it
sort
was
of
actually.
generation. This is like actually that's the start of the Mourinho era. Actually.
Yeah.
So that means the Carvalho and Drogba and all that and co.
Well, that's when they started, like also with those jerseys. When you get into 2009, around that era, is the heat press. They went from like the felt and a bit puffy to the heat press, and a lot of people were having problems with sponsors coming off and everything like that.
And still to this day, I think someone had. I think maybe Italy had some issues with the names.
Yeah,
in the Last Nations League, and there's just been sagas everywhere, right? Like spelling mistakes and heaps of.
The spelling mistakes crack me up because I'm like,
yeah,
they did it to Beckham. They did it to Beckham.
Yeah, that's right.
You're playing the world sport. Like, at what point do you check someone's name spelled right before they run out of the field? Do you know what I mean? There's got to be like 4 or 5, maybe 6 steps you go through before the player actually wears it on the field to. You can just check it's done right. And
so PFC ended up on like a I don't want to call it an influencer list because it's a business, but anyway, we got gifted a Socceroos shirt a few years ago, and I'm not going to say the business who did it because I want to maintain good relationships all around. But basically, they sent us an email and they're like, "Hey, we're going to send you the current Socceroos home kit," and like, "Yeah, cool, awesome." And you guys are probably thinking of retailers. It's not a retailer that's in Australia. It's bigger than that, if that's a guide, right? So they're like, let us know which player you want to put on the back, like which player, which name, whatever. So we set the request in, and we get the shirt back. And I asked for Aaron Moy because I was like, I don't have an Aaron Moy shirt. And he was my favorite player at the time. I was like, sick, great. Get the shirt in, and I couldn't believe the spelling mistake was funny to me. Is they sent it as MOOEY, so Mooey. And I was just like, how? How? Like,
he would have
sent
been
the email
Brighton at the time too, so he would have been actually.
Yeah, it was okay. It was within the last like 3 Socceroos kits, if that's any like consideration. But it was such a strange mistake. I did not understand how they did that, but they did. So yeah, I think the benefits from the technology, maybe like performance side for pressing sponsors and names, good, but at risk of poor performance, poor application, and maybe spelling mistakes.
Yeah.
But that's what I always that's what I always say to people: when you get jerseys, don't put them through the washing machine. Always hand wash them.
No, I know. We've got it in
Yeah.
we've got like a care instructions on the website, and it's like
Yeah.
hand wash and cold. Especially like
Yeah.
I've seen both of your collections now, right? Like if you put any of those through a hot wash, the name said like it's got old glue that's probably from 30 years ago. Like you
Yeah,
can't
yeah.
expect that to hold up.
No,
Yeah.
no way. That's the thing. Like when it comes to like those sponsors, some of them are so like, especially like these ones here. These
Yeah.
ones that I've just like. There's one I just. Oh, I don't know what it
That
is.
one you picked up is notorious for like cracking, bubbling
Yes.
inside itself. It's horrible, and that was the sort of the first, right? Because like the shirt
This
prior,
one. This one was
yes.
a nightmare.
Oh my god, horrible. Yes.
Look at my spot.
Yeah.
I wore it like a few weeks ago,
Yeah.
and it was perfect. And it just came apart. I've tried to glue
Yeah.
it back on. It's just like
That's why you
That's
don't
all.
wear them.
ruined.
You
That
can't-
was
Yeah, it's funny
that's
that
the jersey that it always fucks up on. That one.
it was. It's funny. There's a few sponsors. Obviously, we get exposed through PFC to like multiple different shirts over the years, and there's like a few that we're just notorious. They're notorious for having some sort of mistake in them, and
Yeah.
so obviously for that specific United shirt, that's pretty common from the ones that we've had. So to get them,
Yeah.
to get them in that condition is kind of normal. The other one is I think it's like 07 to like 09 United shirts with the tracks down the back, in the middle, and the bottom of the shirt.
Yeah.
It's the AIG sponsored ones. Yeah. So those tracks always come off. Like
Yeah.
I don't know if like the thought process behind the application to that, but it was horrendous. But
The thing
the
about
weirdest
that,
one,
though,
actually,
you can get them. You can buy them to press back on.
which is it says in the stuff that the shirt wasn't made properly to me, but it's kind of
Yeah.
wild that there's like, we have a solution. Fix it
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah.
Pay more
which
money
is-
to
yeah,
fix
it's
it.
crazy. Yeah, exactly. And this is the FIFA ticketing system for the World Cup all over again.
Have you That's a bit of a question for you, Paul. Do you get many people trying to sell you fake kits now that they're so popular? Because some of them actually can look quite authentic and real, but they're obviously not. But
yeah,
it's
it's a bit of a weird one, right? So like for us, we can't just be like, okay, we'll buy a bundle off you because you've got 500 shirts you want to offload. We still, it's pretty meticulous still, and we have to go through one by one. And
Yes.
and it means that no matter who we're buying from, because obviously a lot of the stuff isn't in Australia, so we buy a lot from overseas.
Yeah.
And it means that we like forever on Google Translate trying to say, hey, show us photos of the tags, show us photos of the wash labels, show us close-ups of the crest, the stitching, and because every shirt's got a different tell, right? So from the more recent stuff, this is probably the blessing to it, right? A lot of fakes, like, I know we've gone through sort of like 30 years of shirts in the last sort of, hour or so, but from that, like the 70s, 80s, and even into like the early 90s, there wasn't a lot of stuff that was being like copied to the degree that they are copied now.
Yeah.
Your outside of your stadium bootlegs were quite literally like some random brand, probably the same kind of club crest, but that was kind of what it was. Whereas now you fast forward to like probably the last 15 years, they're obviously trying to like maybe retrospectively copy ones that maybe from like say the 99 Champions League shirt, right, for example, right, that'd been copied through the ass. There's like tells in each shirt, like product codes is probably the one thing that saves a lot of collectors, and being able to like understand what those product codes mean, and as simple as just googling what the product code is along with the manufacturer name can be enough to get you out of trouble. So from a getting scammed by someone, like they try to. I think the most recent one we had was someone stitched a real code, like the tag from a real shirt onto a fake shirt. Yeah. So, and this is what was crazy, right? It was at the point of realizing I had the shirt, photographed it, had it on the website for all of about 30 minutes, chucked a tag on it, like the swing tag. I went to put it on the racks, and I try and merch our racks so it's sort of A to Z and then year to year, like so it's sort of like youngest to oldest, or oldest to youngest. And I put it next to another shirt that we had that was exactly the same. And the only reason I noticed was that on the back of the neck it had the club initials, and they were slightly different. So I picked them both up, and I was like, wait, what? Looked at the code on the one that we put out. I was like, code works. So I went and checked the one that was already on the racks, thinking, hang on, maybe that one was wrong. I checked that code. I'm like, that code was right. The codes were the same. I'm putting the shirts up to one. I was like, what the hell? These are exactly the same,
Yeah.
but visually they're different. Sorry, like, same code, but visually they look totally different. So then I started looking into like, close up onto the crest and like the stitching. And I was like, oh, I looked at the stitching on the tag, and you could see underneath this, the little product code tag, there was a few like home job kind of stitching things in there. I was like, so it doesn't happen often now because we've obviously been doing this for long enough. But that was the first time in a long time that we got con pretty good.
So I recently, I'm on a page. I'm on a page where people always ask about authenticity and stuff like that. So I'm one of the guys that always tries to help out with that.
Yeah.
Anyway, when I first took jersey collecting serious, about, I don't know, 15 years ago, probably one of the first ones I ever bought was this one, right?
Yeah.
Was this one here. Anyway, a guy posted that one, and I'm looking at it going, nah, it's fake, man. I'm looking at the badge and everything like that. Because one thing with United, people try and copy United. They just cannot get the ship right. They can't get the ship correct in the older jerseys. Anyway, so I thought I'll come into my cave, and I've got actually come into my cave. I'll check me Ronaldo one. And like, so when I checked I checked this one, I'm looking at the badge going, fuck it, that badge is shit, man. What's going on here? Like that. And I went, fuck, that must be fake, because I bought this like literally for $20, I think it was. It had the wrong side patches on it, so I just bought it for the hell of it. I didn't even check it. Anyway, I went and looked at the product code and everything like that, and I put the product code into Google, and it came up with the jersey. And I'm like, there's no way that is right. The badge is just trash. Anyway, so I'm looking around and everything like that, and then I realized they had another one signed by Rio Ferdinand, and I checked the product code on that, and dead set, there's one number difference in the product code. So instead of the product code here is 238348010. The difference is the 8 is a 7 on a real one. Yeah.
Wow.
It's crazy. And that product code still comes up.
That's insane. I know, like, with especially from say sort of like that gen you're talking about, right? Like that, say mid 2000s, the product codes seemingly it's almost like they grab one shirt and they're like, all right, this is the code we're going to use, and we're going to use it for everything that we copy for the next 12 months, right? So usually, like, you almost got to a point. I remember, like, early days when I'm sitting here, like, meticulously checking stuff myself. I was like, oh, this is crazy, because it's like I'm punching in the same numbers into Google, and I'm like, fake, not buying it, fake, not buying it. And then it got to a point where I'm like, I reckon I memorized whatever that fake number was. And I'm just like, this isn't nah. Like, I know.
You didn't even look it up.
Ridiculous. I don't have to look at it anymore. I was like, finish this thing off straight away. But there's some really, really like good copies these days. But I think it's when you see it in person, you can definitely tell, you can feel it.
Easy, man.
That's one thing. But it's hard for buyers to know, right? Especially now on my market, right? Like, it's very hard to see things in person. And, like, for us, we're lucky, right? We've got pop-up stores. We've done all that work. So you don't have to worry about that when you come in. But, to have that experience and have to put them side by side and be like, oh, is this good? Is this fake? I don't know. Like, it's hard to say. So, when you can actually feel it, it makes a huge difference.
Yeah, like with the 90s jerseys, you can tell pretty much easy, because, like, the badges for starters, like, the one that gets me is when people say have a long sleeve early 90s jersey and they go, oh, it's legit. They never made long sleeve jerseys for fans in the early 90s. They didn't make it.
No. You think about like the Beckham say like, Beckham's 99 shirt, right? Like that kind of ilk, right? Those shirts are hard enough to find, let alone the long sleeve ones.
Yeah, long sleeve 99s. So they did sell them, but no one bought them. Yeah.
I've been in contact with a collector I think he's in Singapore. Man, his long sleeve United collection. I have to send you guys a photo after this. You'll appreciate it. It is
definitely
insane. I like and he's done like the whole like the suit plastic kind of bag coverings, and man, he's kept his stuff really.
Is that 442?
I don't know if you can see.
No, I can't remember his name. His name's Oh yeah, the top right.
They're all got plastic covers. They're all match worn ones, but I have them in plastic covers, so the room doesn't stink.
Yeah,
They're
no,
all
that's good.
sweaty.
You mentioned you were talking about crests, Adam, before. I remember seeing something a few years ago about a detail in the United crest being different from player to fan version shirts. And someone said
Yeah.
to me that I don't know how true this is, by the way. I don't use this to authenticate my shirt, so I'm not really 100% certain. But they said that the devil looks more angry on a player shirt.
So when the biggest thing is when you see the 90s jerseys, so it's usually the ship. The ship will have bigger sails on it, and there'll be a lot more detail in the ship. When a fake comes around, the sail is longer, wider, and the devil will be a little bit bigger. In player versions, everything was stitched. So through the 90s, the player version the badge was always stitched. It wasn't pressed like what.
Yeah, like your more current day type of stuff.
Yeah. So like the fan version was always puffy and everything like that. The newer versions that they make of these, they're all hard. These are hard. The player, this area here was probably pretty much the same, but the badge was always stitched on for a player. I'm pretty sure I've seen a lot of like the detail in the ship in this is insane. You would not get the detail in a fake like that.
I always find sorry, go Paul. You go.
No. So I was just going to ask you. I can't remember with that crest the shirt you just pulled up. There's one of those United crests around that year. It might be just after actually. That's like a soft. It's a really nice material. It's not like your normal kind of like embroidered crest.
So these are soft, really soft, and
it's almost like it's like a nice
really
I wouldn't call it suede, but there's a really nice material to it.
It's like a felt sort of material. And everything like
but it's
that.
hard.
Yeah. Whereas
it's beautiful. That's so nice.
Whereas the ones these days are like the fakes that they bring in, which I've got. Where is one? Yeah, just say this one. You can look. This is a fake, but I just wanted Brian McClare to sign the 1990 FA Cup one. Like it's hard, it's stitched, like it's fucking terrible. It is horrific. I just didn't want him to sign my original jersey. So that's it. Like I've learnt my lesson once with that. I'll never do it again. Unless I've got 2 or 3 of them,
One thing that always cracks me up with the fake jerseys in the 90s is when the sponsors have been like pressed on and they're not like the felt, they're just like stick on things, and you go, they were never like that. I remember my cousin.
It's a funny one, isn't it? And you were saying before about like when you don't know till you get them sometimes, right? But it's funny when you're like, this is the thing, right? People are like, oh, you know, the conversation we always have with people that don't know what they're looking at when they're starting to look at our stuff is like, oh, it's really expensive. And then like, oh, but I can get the same thing off DHgate for $15. I'm like, yeah, you go. I said, go do it. Go do it. And then it comes and it fits you and it's like this, right? And you're like, you're sitting there walking around like a goose. That's what you're gonna end up with. But
you can't.
It might be fine. It might be fine.
You can't even compare it, man. You can't even compare it. It drives me nuts hearing people saying, I'm going to do, whether you can afford it or not. You're going to do, by the end of the season, you're getting them at the DHgate price. Like it does my head in. Seriously. You can go.
I can't stand people that say they're collectors and they've got a jersey collection and they're fucking fake.
Man, it's right through Asia. It does my freaking head in, man. I see some people displaying their jerseys and they're there going, yeah, I've got every single jersey. And, mate, every one of them's just trying to rip off.
Like the money.
So, look, I think it's a hard one, right? Because like financial circumstances, obviously, the player, right? And I know I came from a world where, you know, I'd beg mum and dad for shirts when I was a kid, and your market knockoffs is all you're getting, right? And now it's different, right? Adult, big boy money kind of thing, right? I get to pick my toys now, right? So my toys are football shirts, so it's a little bit different. But I think it's just one of those things. You just over time you need to, you don't know until you actually experience it, and then if you can afford to put the effort and money into the real thing, you know straight away. You're like, okay,
it's so to buy replicas and things like that, but don't try and make out or resell them as authentic jerseys.
No.
Like, you know what, Jordan? Look. On eBay, I would love to be a person that works for eBay to cut most of these jerseys out, Because
Oh,
even
mate.
when you red flag them, eBay doesn't give a shit. It's an
No.
absolute joke.
No,
Yeah.
and it's like, and it's, you know what's crazy actually? So, I remember when I was young, I would have been 15 or 16. My old lady was like, "Oh, I want to sell a few things online." She's like, "I don't know how to do it. Can you help me?" I was like, "Yeah, it's fine." And it was a bunch of stuff she picked up, but like, over the years, like there's bags and shoes
Yeah.
and random stuff. So just take a few photos, sell them online for it. That I remember that I took a photo of a bag. I know nothing about women's clothing, handbags, items, things like that, right? But this bag got flagged within an hour, and this would have been like 2008-ish, right? Like years ago, before the AI would be able to recognize that's fake because of this. Boom, see you later, right? So it's like, how did that happen back then? But you've got
Yeah.
some Joe Blow that can sell 40,000 different variations of kids' kits from basically all knockoffs with the manufacturer crest on there and all that sort of stuff. So there's no like legal ramifications around it either. I don't know how they get away with it. It just, for me, it's mind-boggling. Especially, I've seen like local sellers in Australia have like received cease and desists and fines and things like that. And they've done simple things like basically make their Instagram private page all of a sudden, and they still sell through it, and it's just crazy. Like for me, this is one of the best decisions I ever made. Was that I always wanted PFC to be a brand that could be in some sort of commercial partnership, right? And like, not many people know about this, but PFC's actually had a pop-up inside Nike head office in Melbourne, right? So, and it was a staff-only thing that they did during the Women's World Cup because they were like doing Jersey Thursday and things like that. And like, for me, that was such a pride point because they're like, they know that I'm not here to try and like rip off
The
their
trust
brand.
thing.
Yeah, absolutely, right. But like,
Yep.
I'm reselling products that they're not making money on that have their brand on it, right? So
Yeah.
there's almost a little bit of like a head nod, kind of
That's
like,
crazy to think you're selling Nike items and you're making a profit on it. They're not making a cent inside their shop.
inside the head office, right? Like,
Yeah.
which is pretty crazy. And you know what? Like, what's probably even a little bit more silly, right? And not to flex the price point that these are at now, but it's more like, they would have sold them at retail in the 90s for probably what, $60 or $80.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, they're selling it back to Nike staff for probably 200, right? Like it's kind of nuts when you think about like the turn and the value, and like
The
I know that's
evolution
just
of it.
commodities, and it's turning commodities, right? It is what it is. But it was just like, it's one of those things now, like for me and for other sellers that are starting businesses, that when they ask like, hey, how do I do it? Like, I could do it, dodgy and do it this way. And I'm like, they're like, yeah, but what if I sell them cheap? It's like, it's not the point. Like, what are you going to get out of it by selling it cheap? Like, you're not, all you're doing is asking for a cease and desist. And I think the fine's like 25 grand if you get caught. So it's like, yeah, it's hefty for one. And it's like, you're just risking it for what? A bit of cash. Like, do it properly, man. And there's so much to enjoy about this game, man. Like, I'm like a kid in the candy store when we get stuck in. It's like, yeah, it's sick. This is sick.
One in, one out, remember?
Yeah. Oh, man.
Mate, I think we're going to have to do a part 2 of this just quietly. Maybe continue it next Wednesday.
Yeah,
like,
sounds
I'm
good.
not even going to bother going into the 2000s because, mate, we have covered so much tonight when it comes to jerseys and going off topic. And, mate, it's been an absolute brilliant pod. Like, Jordan and I froth over this kind of stuff. So that's why we do our Wednesday.
This is my whole world.
Yeah, we love it.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on, Paul.
Yeah, it has.
No, it's been good, guys. Thanks for having us.
Give your business a plug. Everyone get over to PFC, mate. Go get a jersey. Mate, they are unreal down there. I always go in there. We chat a lot, Paul and I, and
I bought a few things.
Some of the stuff he's got. Mate, when I'm in Melbourne next, I'm going to come out to the shop. So give it a plug, mate.
Yeah, thanks. So yeah, look, obviously PFC, we're based in the southeast of Melbourne. We're primarily online, I guess you could say. We probably have been online for 5 or 6 years. But our store sits at about 1,200 different vintage shirts at the moment. That kind of fluctuates a little bit, but yeah, 1,200 is kind of like the sort of standard. And wow. Varying from stuff from the 80s all the way through to probably some there's some present day stuff, but we try and cap it at sort of like 2014 at the moment. But obviously as the years go on, we sort of like extend that out a little bit more. But yeah, so it's a fun job, man. It's definitely one of those industries that is a passion project turned into career kind of thing, which is cool. But we are going to be back. We're doing a Christmas pop-up tour. So we're going to be back in Sydney in December. the logistics of all that has not actually been locked in yet, but I'm going to assume that it'll probably be the first weekend or second weekend of December. Brisbane
right.
as well. Sorry.
Mate, Adam will be there.
Yeah, sounds good. Maybe we can jump on a podcast together actually in person. That might be a good
Yeah,
one.
we should do one
Um,
down there at Ultra Football.
I'll buy a jersey off you in
Yeah,
person instead of online.
That'd be awesome. Yeah, sick. But then, yeah, we got Brisbane as well coming up. Probably so whichever weekend Sydney falls on, Brisbane's going to be the following, and then we'll hopefully do something fun for Melbourne too. But the perks of Melbourne is that we have a store there, so we don't actually have to pop up anywhere, which is good.
Yeah. Well, mate, it's been an absolute pleasure. Go and follow PFC Vintage on Instagram, all the socials and everything like that. It's been an absolute pleasure. Go and follow us. We've been going nearly an hour, 1 hour 40, and it's been bloody easy, let me tell you. It's been very easy podcast to talk something that we love. We'll be back probably. I think we're going to do a fan reaction on Sunday. It'll be Sunday morning, so we'll do a fan reaction. I'm pretty sure Jordan will be on. We'll talk all things United, and hopefully they get 3 points against Spurs. So that'll probably help Chelsea out and stuff like that as well.
Oh, yeah.
So
Spurs are in some good form too.
Yeah. Well, hopefully that argument they had midweek, that blank that they gave the manager, there might be some.
One of them scored this morning in the Champions League in a 4-0 win.
Did you see that Kulusevski goal? My goodness.
Mickey Van der Ven, the one that ran the pitch.
Sorry, it was Van der Ven, not Kulusevski, my bad. Yes, you're right.
Yeah. Mate, how fucking fast can you be?
That's wild. From like centre back to
7 players, Nelly.
Dean's put a request in for one on the Gold Coast.
On the Goldie? Oh, not a bad idea. My kids would like a trip to Movie World, so I reckon
Gold Coast, he's got a Gold Coast is better than Brisbane.
Hey, I'm not complaining. It's only like an hour apart, isn't it? It's like 45 minutes.
Bruno loves it. He probably wants one at Southport where he is.
Both sound good anyway.
So, all right, boys. Thank you again. Thank you, Jordan.
Thanks,
thank you, Paul. I'll talk to you later. See you later.
Thanks, heaps.
Goals! Oh!